Hey Daryl. Hey Sharon. Hey Jenny Mac. What's going on? Kiss is back, man. Heart's back. Days of Elijah, yeah, man. I feel that one. Richard, Infinite One, Chevy, Donald Woods. Oh, I need my ears. Now I can hear, yeah. Okay, Oi Oi Guru, right, Tony? Renita, Island Girl, Linda, Vance. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry. I missed some people. I got Donald. I got Chevy. I missed Ed Gray. What's going on? A Google account. Yeah, man. Golden Richard Pfizer. Yeah. Okay. Renita, Island Girl, Linda, Jenny Mac, Vance, Raven, Activated Pineal, Not My King. Yeah. Andrew Smith, Scorpio Sunshine, Adam, Thomas, Boker Tove, man. All right. Oh, what happened? What did I do? What did I do? I pressed something and the whole world's changed. Chats. Okay, here we go. That's the thing with computers. If you have a mind that works too fast, you got issues, man. Because how many times have I pressed something and then go, "Oh, what did I just do?" I mean, if you're a young guy like my son, he doesn't worry about those kinds of things. But for those of us who weren't brought up with internet, it can be quite scary. Scorpio Sunshine, Andrew, Adam, Thomas, I, Pink Wave, Turquoise Wave, cool, man. Okay, Tina. All right, so let's rock, man. I told you guys we would just get right into the intel today, and I want to stand by that because let's see, we have eight. Okay, so because there's a lot of intel that I didn't really get to last night, and I want to pick it up, and I want to tie all this together. There's a lot of intel that came out on the White Hats since started April 29th, 27th. I quickly summarized it, but all this, it's a lot. It's a lot. Let me just see where we pick it up. It can't be 22nd of April. We had that Democratic. I don't know. I don't. This looks like fresh intel to me. Let me just see. Well, you know what? Let's just go with the most recent. Oh, this one I saw. Okay, so this one we did already, April 27th, right? This one we did. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to start with the 29th of April. I don't have my calendar, but today's what, the 30th? Yeah. Okay, so we're coming into May Day tomorrow. It could be an interesting day. I don't doubt it. And they talk about it a little. I feel ascension high today. Good. Yeah, the key to all this, man, is just ascension, ascension, ascension. It's, focus, 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 ascension. Do not, do not, I'm going to read you a lot of details, but do not get excited. Do not get thrown off by the trees, man. Keep looking at the forest because the big picture, you guys have a front row seat. You're seeing everything in real time and you've already been through the worst of it. I mean, I was talking to a friend and she's saying, please don't, I was a little hard on her because I was like, I was telling my friend, I was like, come on, man, you got this. And she's like, yeah, but you got to understand, my whole family has rejected me. I mean, we've made a lot of changes in the last couple of years. So it's not like, she's right. I mean, you can't just say, just stay focused because our lives are completely different now. Well, my life is completely different, and that's a good thing for me, and probably for a lot of you. But in terms of like acceptance, as you are, people who are like, wow, man, you were so ahead of your time. I love you for it. We're not getting that yet. I don't think. I mean, at least I'm not getting that. People are still kind of like, Ellie, are you still okay? Are you okay? This kind of thing. Anyway, okay, so let's get right into it. But the bottom line is not to worry. I'm going to read you a lot of details, but really, this is all good news. This is I'm not going to read you anything that you haven't already heard. It's just that it's coming back on online, and it's coming back into actual play, and that's the real difference here. Let me just do one thing while I'm here. I'm going to just switch back to um, okay. Let's go here. Okay, done. Simple, easy. All right, here we go now. Let go. Gotta let go. Gotta let the acceptance thing go. Yeah, man. Well, what do you mean go? I don't know. I mean, you could take that a couple ways, but I mean, the basic thing is, the basic thing. I don't need to tell you. You guys are, yeah, I'm singing to the choir here, but a lot's going down. All the things we've been hearing about for years. We expected everything to go down when they said D5 in December of 2021. We expected everything to go down. We're gonna, our wives will take us back again. We won't be crazy people. We won't have to sit in the back of the room anymore. And it didn't happen. And we were like, it's going to happen. It's going to the inaugural. It's not going to go through. There's going to be something happen, but it didn't. And that was the most brilliant move that the White Hats ever made, to let it go through it, because people have to be woken up. And I know that's hard for us because we've been here a long time. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just it's so people. Gila said the other day. She says that these people, they just don't have the frequency to understand what's going on. They don't have it. I mean, you think about a normie, man. These normies have been like professional normies for their whole lives. They've been like they're the ones who, like, they did what their teacher told them. They cleaned up their room. I mean, I'm not saying those are bad things, but we were selected. The people who are on this channel were selected for this. I don't really know what that means. I mean, was it? I mean, obviously it was God, but I mean, was it? I mean, I don't know. It says that the Rebbe Rashab, who was three Rebbes ago in my tradition, picked the people who are going to be here in this day and age. I also have had recently, somebody showed me, I was with Lorna, I think. Lorna, you here? Lorna's just like this. She's so sweet. She's so enlightened that she doesn't make a big deal of herself, and therefore she can kind of like, mental is not an argument. Yeah. They don't know what's. Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable to us. We because we see it so clearly. It's like, how can they not get it? Um, you're chosen. Yeah, yeah. So I think the disrespect from family is the hardest when you're more intelligent. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. And and we've been battling this for years. It's not like, I'm telling you anything new. You guys know what's going down. But it's hard. I mean, it's hard, but I mean, that's what I was telling God yesterday when I was on the beach. I said, God, I don't know if I can keep doing this, man. He's like, and I just felt like, after I cried a little. I mean, you're not supposed to cry on Shabbos, but it was raining, so nobody was there anyway. Nobody was on the beach yesterday because it was raining, and I cried a little bit, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this, God. And then I just kept walking. I just felt, you know what? I forgot about Nachshon. I forgot, like, be like Nachshon. I used to say that all the time. Just keep going. Do not get trapped in your intellectual space. Do not try to figure this thing out. If you're figuring this thing out, man, you're going to drive yourself nuts. Let it go. Just breathe deeply. Just, this is the great awakening. I mean, it's not, you don't have to figure it out. You don't have to know, is Tucker Carlson really a good guy? Is he really a bad guy? I mean, who cares? It doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All the pieces are being moved in the right direction. It's not about the movie. I mean, that's what I used to go to school and people would be talking about soap operas as if it was like happening. They said, well, this guy did this. I'm like, are you talking like it's really, this is a soap opera? And you're like so involved. It's like, it's just a movie. It's just stuff. Anyway, be like Notion. Just keep going. That's the message I got. Don't look back. Don't think like, okay, I can't wait till things get back to normal. It's never going back to normal, thank God. It's going to be so much better once we get rid of these dudes once and for all. Once we get rid of their medical, their financial, their pharmaceutical, their educational, their media nonsense, their entertainment BS. Once we get rid of these idiots, I mean, we will be living in such a nice place, such a nice world. And think of the vibration of all these little ones that are being taken down. What does that do to the vibrations on the planet? It's unimaginable. The shrieks, the horror, the nightmare, the torture. Anyway, okay, so let me go. I'm unwelcome by normies. Yeah, but you're the success man, a Google account. I mean, even though you're under wraps here, but keep moving. Yeah, just keep moving, man. Just be like Noxian. There's a reason for everything. Time to cry, time to heal. Yeah. So on Shabbos, I can cry a little. I have a little time, even though by Jewish minhag, Jewish tradition, you're not really supposed to cry on Shabbos. But for me, crying is a good thing. I like to cry. I feel good when I cry because when I was in ninth grade, I cried. A certain biology teacher really, you know, he, a, a thing happened in my biology class. This is so weird. And this is really my life. Okay. This biology teacher, I knew this guy was a fake, phony BS guy. I could tell, man, he was out there, man. And he asked a question on a test. This is when I took school slightly seriously. He asked a question on a test that had a one word answer. And he left a big space blank. I said, no, and I got like a zero. I said I answered the question, and I started to cry, and I felt so ashamed of myself because everyone was looking at me that I stopped crying for decades. I just stopped crying. Later, and by the way, I went to the principal. I was a whistleblower back in the day. I went to the principal. I said, this guy does not know anything about biology. He's a biology teacher, but he's a fake. And they were like, oh, come on, Ellie, really. And they told the teacher that I said this about him. About 5 years later, I find out that this guy was a total phony. He was a fake, and he was removed in disgrace from the school system. He had forged all his degrees and everything else. But I mean, and I felt vindicated. But I mean, nobody, still, for years I couldn't cry because the injustice. Anyway, whatever. Just an interesting story. The explosions that were just heard in the area of Empire Boulevard and Brooklyn Avenue. Wait. Got to hear this. Were are due to multiple manholes exploding. The fire department is operating on the scene to fix. That's in my old neighborhood. That's where I lived, and yeah, for a manhole cover to explode in Crown Heights, not really such a big deal. I mean, anyway, but okay. So enough of that. Enough of me. Now, what do you think of me? I knew a few years back my daughter wanted protection. It's like she knew. Yeah, yeah. Read a few scriptures. Yeah, that helps. Yeah, I like to walk on the beach personally. I hate when my manhole. So yeah, right. I hate when that happens. Right, Haley, you heard the explosion? It's just a man. It's just a manhole cover exploding. Maybe they're blowing up the dumbs in Brooklyn. Who knows? All right, here we go. April 29th, 500 to 800 soldiers from the country killed every day. Um, Major confusion set in as the the under they had a meeting of like 300 commanders that were taken down by the good guys. Okay, so these guys are really in defeat, but none of this gets to the mainstream media. People have no idea what's going on in that country. The even even people that I'm related to, whatever. There's a network. He has to know what's going on. There's a network of extensive salt and other mines in the cities of Bakhmut and Soledar, consisting of over 100 miles of tunnels. These tunnels are now 90% contained. So, everything we heard about Chernobyl, I think it was a total lie. I think they blew it up themselves to keep people away from their tunnels so they could continue with the traffic. That's my own personal thing because I studied it. And one time I had a chemistry class and we really just got into it. I don't know why. I don't know why I did it, but that was the Pentagon military assessment on the U war has reached. Um, it cannot be won on any front, and I shouldn't really even. I'm not. With several hours of this assessment, insiders confirmed that the guy in charge, received U.S. leak reports that the five-sided building has been assured that they will not win, and several new weapons tested by the Raytheon during the past year in the country U are now being removed, and the promised new military weapons has been removed from discussion. So they're running with their legs, with their tails between their legs. The DS has been defeated squarely, but does this reach the mainstream media? I don't think so. But how much longer can they keep up the world of lies before people figure it out? Within several hours, they were briefed by generals. Z sent cables to China, and G called Z, the guy from China, called the guy from U. He said that they're going to rebuild. They're going to rebuild the country U with BRICS money, and the country U would have an opportunity to join the German, French, Italian, Austrian, Hungarian alliance that is working to connect their systems with a new European monetary system connected to the BRICS system. As you know, behind the scene here in 17 The Storm Rider, I've been giving you details the past 2 years that Germany was flipping, Italy was flipping, France military controlling Macron, cabinet was flipping, etc. We are going against NATO and making secret deals with the country C and the country R with Vladimir, and the past months confirmed the alliance as Macron, as the bad guys went to see China directly, okay? Because America right now, the so-called American military, the black hat three-letter agency that starts with C, military, is being destroyed once and for all. Thank God. The inside agreement between Z and the China was planned long ago. I told you a secret deal was reached between them. The deal was made on the vortex fronts that the deep state would be exposed, okay, laundering and trafficking, and is all connected to Congress, senators, the computer from the sun, U.S. bank collapse, labs in Ukraine, Sudan, etc. The operation to expose the DS connected to creating this country's war. It's over, man. They lost. The next phase in the agreement is they got to work with China and the Taiwan situation. Give China rights to rebuilding its infrastructure in the country U, which is also partners with the country R. The huge war of the reconstruction of the country U and controlling the oil is already inside a huge market war between China, U.S. Halliburton, Exxon wanting to drill and excess oil and minerals. In the current moments, the DS is still lying to Exxon. They're still being told that US is going to win in the country U. A large reason the MSM will not tell the truth on what's going on there. Behind the scenes, the alliance will begin the next phase of exposing the bad guys and exposing corruption. Okay. And I read also somewhere, and it's probably in one of these posts, but that Poland was going to take a part of the country U, Germany maybe a part, and the country R would take part. They're gonna rebuild that country, but it was a deep state party central place, man. I mean, they had all the tunnels, they had a lot of traffic was going through there. These tunnels are thousands of years old, and they're being cleaned up. So the plan to let the three-letter agency that starts with C talk Poland into annexing the western region of Ukraine has been in the plans that would lead to a huge, massive pushback and would lead you and bring in the declassification of a lot of bad things that happen. So, okay, so what are we saying? I just said that they were going to be involved, but it happens that how does the U.S. collapse exposure of the medical thing, the military coup against Mr. T, banking collapse, the computer from JB's kid will trigger a white hat military response leading to tribunals and Mr. T bringing down the bad guys forever. What was that? I heard a little blip. Okay. So I'm not exactly sure about how Poland fits into that, but everything is being behind the scenes, everything is taking place. Inside the US military gave notice they tried to take out Vlad. As Russia has already activated Russian military monolith system, Russia activates nuclear alert highest levels back in end February. Now, okay, so we're still talking about the country U. Hey, Gila. Um, yeah, I have to stay focused. Okay, Ukraine. Polish intelligence wires say that the that Vlad is getting ready for a big military push. This happened immediately when they launched a drone against Vlad. They're going to strike back. I mean, you know, I I don't know. They're used to getting away with everything. The bad guys are just used to doing whatever they want. They got everything covered. They got the mainstream media. They got the Hollywood actors. They got the politicians. They got the doctors. They got the lawyers. They got Gila's here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. Okay, hold it. Gila. Gila. Gila, you're on.
The guru.
Oh, because you have to turn off your sound of our broadcast.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, now you're in real time.
Guru, can you hear me?
I
I
can.
can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Wait a minute. Let me just. Are, I hear you. You don't hear me? Ah, um,
Shoot.
that's weird. Let me just see. Yeah, I see. Okay, let me turn you off for a second. Let me just check the participants video. Okay. You're back on now. Can you hear me? You don't hear me. Huh. That's weird. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Oh, wait a minute. This? No. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I figured it out.
You figured it out? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Great. So you're here. How exciting.
I know. Hi guys. This is so fun.
What do you think? What do you, what's your take on this?
Well, can you repeat it? Because I didn't hear it.
Okay. So I'm just talking about how everything is going down in the country U. Okay, that everything is being exposed and the bad guys are really going down. That's basically it. And behind the scenes, and the mainstream media is not reporting on any of this, which is, typical.
Ooh,
And
you are the news now, man. You are the news. Guru, you
so
know what I was thinking this morning?
what?
That you're a broadcaster.
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
that cool?
it is pretty cool when you think about it.
I mean, nobody gave you the job. You said one morning, I'm a broadcaster. You didn't have to sign a contract with anybody. You're not beholden to anybody. And you're bringing the news. I just love that self-initiative that you took. I love it.
Right. And I hope that people will use this as an example for their own lives, because that's really what I seek to do here. Let's see if I can go the right way. Guess I have to go this way. What I really seek to do is to empower everyone to really become the best, the person that you weren't allowed to become all your life because of all these idiots. I mean,
Idiot.
idiots. And yeah,
Guru, and you empowered me, remember? You told me go make a channel, and I did. And you gave me all your followers. Somebody was asking me, Shipper was asking me, how do you have so many followers? I'm like, Guru, I cheated.
well, and it's you earned it. I mean, but the thing is that, like, this is so important. Really, at the end of the day, and this is really what I was going to talk about today. It's all about focus, ascension. It's all about claiming your power, man, of taking your power back from these evil ones. And I don't know how that's going to play out, but I just hear a lot of. I mean, I hear some people like there's some people that get lost in the trees, man. They don't see the forest. And that's, we have to be careful that we don't start, I mean, that we don't become intel junkies, because the intel is not important. The intel is it's just a route. It's just a roadmap to how to get you to see what's really happening. So, if you're watching the movie and you're getting emotionally involved and you're thinking, oh no, they're coming for this, they're coming for that, my bank account is ruined, forget it, man. Just don't even think about it. I mean, it's easy for me to say that, but
Well, Guru, the intel is supposed to liberate you from the fear. That's the real purpose.
thank you. That's better. That's really better put than what I said. It really is supposed to liberate. I mean, because we've known about this for years. We've had this intel.
Guru, how you doing? How was Shabbos?
It was good. It was very peaceful. I mean, very peaceful. It was almost. I mean, it was nice. It was nice. I mean, I got to the point where I walked on the beach in the rain. I mean, that's how peaceful I was. I mean, and it was a very nice experience. But you know what I learned while I was there? I learned a lot of cool things. I met somebody. I told that about last night. But I learned that the birds that I'm looking at are called oyster catchers, the ones with the big bills, not plovers. The plovers are the little ones. They're so cute, man. There are all these baby plovers out there. But I also learned something that's really important, and that is, while I was walking on the beach and the waves were whipping up the storm, there was this brown sludge, foam. It must have been plastic based that was coming out of the water. It was disgusting. I mean, the water, the ocean was cleaning itself. But people have to know this evil is so ingrained in every part of our life. I mean, even in the water, in the ocean, these guys are dumping some kind of filth down there that's it was I couldn't walk on the beach. I was like knee deep in this foam. It's disgusto. I mean, and this is really where these creeps have, and it's in, in the food source. Like there's this one kind of food that says it's organic. I forget what it's called, but like it's Stop and Shop or whatever I go, the one that I go to, they say organic cauliflower, and they say we only use permitted pesticides. That makes them organic. So they're using pesticides that are permitted. I mean, they only use permit. So they can they can permit themselves to have pesticides and still call themselves organic.
Guru, you reminded me of something that I read. I'm going to go get the book. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So meantime, it's so nice to have Gila here. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Staging to bring military coup against JB BO. All the bad guys is 11.3 operations. That's from the Law of War Manual. 11.3. That's happening, man. That's ongoing. Several soft tribunals are currently happening inside Congress as they execute a well placed plan to get on congressional records the evidence mounting against Dr. F and the thing that they're doing across the planet with these laboratories. You know, it's just it's World War II on steroids, man. This is like they figured out a way to have a Holocaust. I said it. Okay. To have an H, we'll just call it an H. They figured out a way to have an H to make it look like it's a clean shot. It's a clean KIL. It's just no mess, no fuss, no bullets, no blood. It's all just you go to the doctor and take care of it. I was just talking about how and this is really strikes home for me because my brother is called the germ warrior and he's been involved with this operation for many decades, and what they're doing with these things is, I was saying it's like a clean version of what happened in World War II. No bullets, just you go to the doctor, everything's cool, no fuss, no muss, and boom, you get stuff. But I'm just hoping that my brother has a good conscience. I hope he doesn't. I heard he had an argument with BO, and that my brother resigned at one point from his position. So I'm hoping that he's out of it. Anyway, I'm sorry, Gila. What were you?
I mean, I think just to that point that you were making, I think they get very specific joy and pleasure from watching us line up. It wasn't fun enough to make like camps for, you know what I mean? Like that wasn't as fun as this is for them because that's how sick they are. But I do think that Mr. T averted a lot of. I think he got in there with warp speed, and I think a lot of people are going to be okay. So I was reading Dolores Cannon, my new favorite. I love Dolores Cannon, Guru. I was reading The Convoluted Universe, book 4. I love her because she's impartial. I love her because she has no agenda. She calls herself like a journalist. She's just in it to get to the heart of it. And she was so true to herself. Like she came up with this quantum hypnosis technique. She invented it. She was able to speak to the highest level, the somnambulistic of the soul, and the information, I trust it. I just trust it. So she said about the earth. Can I read you a little bit?
Oh, please feel free.
Okay, so the book, I love it's captivating her style because she keeps it in question answer form, the way she just transcribes her sessions with people. as the subconscious comes forward, the soul comes forward. Okay. So the question is, Dolores is asking about the earth, that there's going to be tornadoes and earthquakes, that the earth herself, like when you're talking about the ocean, the earth herself is sick and tired of getting polluted, of getting raped, of, you know what I mean, all the things that happens to the earth. It will completely be rearranged by the time it's done, and the earth has had enough. The earth does not want to stay in that. Just like you wouldn't want to stay with a body that is suffering and dying. So the earth, she's saying, is a consciousness. Like every plant, like you have a consciousness, I have a consciousness. The earth has a soul, has a consciousness. And because the body of the earth has been so destroyed, the way I see the earth splitting into two worlds is that the soul of the earth is going to leave this physical existence and create a second planet, which is such a crazy thing to wrap your brain around. Okay, so the question is, but if it's going to remain, won't there have to be an energy there to keep the old earth alive? So she's like, who's going to stay on this old earth? Which is a great question. It will be a place that can be inhabited, but it will not be as of that earth. The earth will be a more dormant area. What about those left behind? That's what I always want to know. They will be suffering what the earth has decided it does not want to suffer anymore. They will be left. They will not be punished. They will not be judged. They just will not continue onwards. They will pass. So saying, like, the people that aren't compatible with the new earth, they're going to pass on. They're going to stay back with this old earth, right? She says that because I've been told they can't change fast enough to go with the new earth. So my point is, for everybody listening, is that it says everybody will be able to go as long as they aren't creating doubt and fear. That is what will keep the people left behind. You are feeling the changes of the energy of the earth. The energy of the earth is speeding up, and the earth itself is trying to leave this planet, the soul of the earth.
That's so beautiful.
Isn't that crazy, Guru? It's like
so
I don't want to
beautiful.
read all 3 pages, but that's the main point, is that to be compatible, to go to this new place of a new Garden of Eden, you have to be energetically compatible. And I'm not saying that you're not allowed to ever have fear, but I'm saying your dominant energy has to be love and trust in God, and then you get to go. You get to go. So that's the work right now. Tell everybody you love, don't be afraid. And that's the Torah. It's always like that. I think it's said 365 times in the Torah is, do not be afraid.
That is so interesting. That's the key, man. Don't be like Lot's wife, man. Don't look back. Just keep moving forward. Be like Nakshan.
The earth herself is tired. She's tired, Guru.
I'm tired too. When I saw that, I was just, that's what made me cry. I think that was part of it. It was just like, enough, Ganuga ready, enough of this foam. I mean, it was just this brown,
Right.
this ugly color brown coming out of the ocean. But it was like, it was cleaning. It was, it was in a cleaning process because it was the air was blowing it across the beach. But it's just monstrous what these people are doing. Just for what? So they can be in control, just so they can have a few more houses, just so their kids can go to the right college, and they can have their AC cocktail, their adrenal cocktails, and it doesn't, they need to go. They need to go away. I mean, you were talking a long time ago, and I know we're going off the intel a little bit, but you were talking a while ago to me about how the Galactics trapped these Nebus, these bad dudes, on the planet so they couldn't escape. And now it looks like they're being destroyed.
Right. It was a quarantine. This is the information, I think, from Ishmael and other people, that they didn't want to pollute the whole galaxy. Like, Earth took the beating for the whole galaxies. so we could quarantine it and get rid of, like you said, Guru was so brilliant that you can't leave even one remnant of Amalek because they multiply. So they kind of quarantined us with these, and we volunteered to come and help shift the frequency, because how do you get rid of Amalek, which is fear and doubt? With love. We have to spread the light and the love. It's contagious. The higher frequency will win, because it takes a small light to light up a lot of darkness. We only need a few of us. The Maharishi effect. We need just a few, like a 10% of us, even less, maybe 1%, and we can help planet Earth go to her next gig, Guru. The next gig, however it looks. I don't know how to envision it, because Dolores Cannon always makes me be like, what? But
I do. I know what it looks like. I mean, I feel like I know what it looks like just because I'm a builder, and well, you're also involved in building. You built your office and your backyard and everything, but I just see nature. I see the end of all these boxes. I just see, like like maybe almost they talk about hobbit houses. I'm a big Tolkien nut. I mean, just that everything will fit in together. It won't be like, here's a house and here's nature. Here's a
right,
park and here's a house. It's like all, and the sound and the vibration and the frequency and the light. I mean, there'll be, you will light will be architecture. In other words, you can do things, you can build things with light and sound. It doesn't have to be a four-walled kind of thing. It can be a
it'll
space.
be kinesthesia. It'll be the blending of all the senses. And Guru, the one thing we don't know how. We don't know how we're getting from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? Even if Dolores Cannon says, it's going to be the splitting of the earth, and the earth left this old body. This is the old body of the earth, right? And she left it. So what does that even mean? How are we getting there, all of us? And that's the one thing really nobody can answer until that's God's part of the story.
But I maintain, and this is I think we agree, but we kind of like have a slightly different take on it. Is that it's going to come from us. It's not going to come. I don't believe. I mean, they talk about the Beis Hamikdash, the Holy Temple, just dropping down, fully built. And I see that, but and maybe a lot of these structures they will help us. But at the end of the day, it's our involvement that is so
We
important.
bring the energy.
And they say that no other species can do that because we're connected directly to source.
Well, also okay. I interviewed this woman this morning. I'm going to put the interview up later in the afternoon. I think you're going to love it. But we're the only, in Hebrew it's called medabrim, speakers. And God spoke the world into creation. He didn't blink his eyes. He didn't snap his fingers. God used words, vayehi or, let there be light. So he imbued us with this capacity for speech, to create our world, to create a resonance, to create frequency through our speech. So what are we doing here now? All of us speaking, listening, connecting. And I had such an insight, Guru, and it's so simple. Can I tell you my insight?
Please.
Okay, what is this world? Why did we come here? What is our purpose? It's an opportunity to connect your soul to God from a place of choice. From a place of choice. We get the experience of choosing to be connected to God. All the other realms, they're all much more connected to God, like sixth, fifth, all these higher dimensions, because God is so present with them, so obvious to them, but God is hidden from us. So we have this unique advantage of choosing him, and in choosing him, we shift all of creation, all of it. Like, we do this work and they all benefit because we're the dumbest,
Right. Well, they say the angels are just completely, in awe. They just stand there in awe of God. But God gave us the ability to think of ourselves as separate so that we can choose it. It's
It's
pretty amazing.
everything, Guru. It's everything hinges on that. I think the whole universe hinges on us.
Yeah, we were seeded, I guess, by all these star races. I mean, but yeah, I think you're right. And I also think the reptilian, you know, coming into our DNA is an important factor and a good thing, because it allowed us to go to a higher level. Because Adam is totally connected. Adam was totally connected to God, to the point that, like, he didn't even know he wasn't God. He was just so godly. He was just completely connected. And
You're saying
until
the same thing that I just said in another way. That the reptilian DNA gave us this ability to choose because it separated us. So we have to thank them.
yeah,
Now
we'll thank
we,
them
yeah,
by giving them a nice carpet ride to
yeah,
another realm.
yeah.
They can go far, far away,
Far,
as far as
far.
I'm concerned.
Okay, back to the Intel Guru. I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah, you could help me with this too. But by the way, I love, like, I don't know if people notice, but we become little kids when we're together. I mean, we're like in grade school. We're like in, before they made us scared of the teachers, and like, ay, ay, ay. It's going to go back to that, where kids can be creative, and kids will go to school and they'll have fun and they'll sing and they'll dance and they'll laugh and they'll. I don't even know if they're. I don't think they're going to have schools the way, well, for sure, people are not going to sit in rows and separate classrooms and all that nonsense. It's going to be just like you'll be able to just create what you were here to create, and dance in your own information streams. I think that's where we're heading. I think in terms of education, I don't see us going back to that kind of that style.
No, it's awful.
Yeah, it was mean. Okay, so several soft tribunals are currently happening inside Congress as they execute a well-placed plan to get on congressional records the evidence mounting against the medical thing. Okay, um, Rand Paul publicly said that after administration Samantha Power and before the U.S. Senate and Foreign Relations Committees had brought exposure, military was funding this, like, stuff. I mean, this bad behavior amongst scientists. If you're paying closely attention, several Senate and hearings in Congress are attacking the administration directly and bringing forth investigations into the JB family, trafficking, laundering, all kinds of stuff. The hearing the hearings bring mass information that is being recorded by U.S. government records, including Dr. F being exposed for lying to Congress. Um, Congress said Congress going after the Fibbies, after the Twitter exposure, corruption on backdoors into social media being. I mean, they were right on the media. They just made a phone call and then told them what to do. This is, like, so illegal. It's so against what America is all about. And the ex CIA director reveals he had 50 spies sign a letter. They had 50 people sign a letter. This is reality. They all lied. They all lied. They were telling the world, yes, this is the real reality. I mean, and now, I mean, the brilliance of this plan is that the White Hats let them do this. They could have shut them down, and that would be a wholly different scene. This is such an amazing operation because they it was a sting operation. They allowed all this stuff to happen. They allowed these bad guys to do it in plain sight. They've always been doing it in plain sight, but now we can see it. We saw the Hollywood actors. We saw how they all work together. They all say the same lie over and over again. And why wouldn't people believe it? You had to have, like, a certain kind of vibrational set of skills in order to be able to say that doesn't make sense. How could that be? But, I'm talking about, like, my kid brother, man. I mean, he's a really smart dude. He's the smartest of the smartest. And that was something that Dr. Silverstein said in Dr. Silverman in ASEA, he was saying that he has his friends, they're super smart doctors, and they watch CNN, and they don't know any of this. And he says, do you think that JB is a good president? And they're like, oh yeah, he's fine. I'm like, and these are people who are treating, these are doing heavy duty surgeries and everything else. And I don't know, man. I don't know.
MK. Am I allowed to say that word? MK is real.
Yeah, it is real, very real. We can see it now. You had to be completely normal, and you had and common sense, but conformity is strong in humans, right?
Yes. Hi, Mia.
Thanks, Crash Burnsley, for the bucks, man. Every bit helps. The wisdom of the world is foolishness to God. Yeah, they're saying that there's a bunch of new Bibles. You read about that? I just read that. I don't know how that fits in with Torah, but they're saying there are a bunch of new Bibles, and they're all truthers. It's written by truthers throughout the ages.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I think they hit a lot, a lot, a lot.
Okay. Now behind the scenes, the computer will be, these bad guys will be indicted, and Kash Patel is making these statements on open channels. Everything is leading to exposure of a military coup and the government captured by foreign things, right? And interference in the selection process. Everything happening now is happening by the books and procedures, and the everything must be documented in Congress and Senate hearings. It has to be done by the book, and the world intelligence agencies are watching, and the deep state and all the dudes, as they know that JB's impeachment will lead to exposure of the big cover up. And this is going to be like, you don't remember because you weren't around, but you don't remember Watergate, right?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was reading the comments, Guru.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, you don't remember because you're very young, but I remember Watergate, and I was a person. I was not involved in any news. I did, my brother used to read the New York Times every day. My father read the New York Times every day. I was about music. I was about, I've
That's how
always been
you
like,
escape the MK business. That's how.
but I want you to know that when the Watergate thing was going down, and a lot of people on the channel remember this, it was you could not get away from it. The TV, everybody was talking about it all the time, and we're going to see that on steroids. We're going to see that times a
I
thousand
hope
on this
so.
in this next one. I think so, and that's going to wake everybody up. So maybe Dolores won't have as many people that have to be left behind
Oh,
because
man.
they're going to wake up. They're going to see it, and that's the brilliance of the plan. But our peeps, the people on this channel, we have to just keep going forward and not getting lost in the details, because people are going to look to you, whether or not they come to you and say, Ellie, I now I see what you were doing. They may never do that, but they notice, they take it in, and even from a distance, they may never admit anything to you, but they need you. They
They'll
need to
feel
see you.
better just by being around you. They'll just not even saying one word. You're going to be a lifeboat.
100%.
Oh, Jason said something good. It's going to be 10 days of light, not darkness. That's what
Oh,
he
I
said.
like that. Where's that? I could pin that.
Jason Scogan. He just said it. 10 days of light. Yeah, I think Nixon was innocent. Somebody, who just said that? Dana.
Yeah, I actually said that they took him down because he was going to expose them.
It's crazy for Nixon.
I
I
mean,
hope these
this has
people
been
get vindicated at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this has been going on a long time. This whole nonsense,
Mm-hmm.
thousands of years they've been doing this to
Yep.
us.
We finally figured it out. No,
We finally figured it out,
yeah,
right?
no,
They
but
were the white hats.
that's how we know that they've been weakened, because every other generation where they tried to take them out, they were silenced. And we're still here. So that's how we know they're cornered, they're running scared, they're They're weak.
Let's hope I get to keep this channel and you get to keep your channel.
Okay.
You lost a channel too, right?
No, I never got to the point of losing one, but I got really close, really close.
You know,
And then I
you
stopped,
know
I
what it's
stopped
like.
making videos for a while just to lay low and then come back again.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're making. I mean, we're doing fine. Please God. Okay, so it all leads to the law of war 11.3, and by the way, I don't know if we're going to get to this. Let's see how much more intel. Oh yeah, I'm getting close. We're going to talk about the King Charles thing. That's a very important piece to this puzzle. But let me get through some of this behind the scenes. Right. The truth is, countermeasures are in place. There is more gold in the United States than most people can think of in Cheyenne Mountains. Arizona underground military bases controlled by white hats. Recently, Mr. T gave you military comms of the JB admin, and all the dudes were caught in treason. I don't know what the comms were, but let's see. Okay, it was a treasonous act or whatever. We all know this. Everything happening now is banking collapse. Will also collapse the cartel's U.S. money hidden in banks. The cartel, including the dudes, have all their money in California. So the California banks are probably soon to be exposed. I guess the Silicon Valley thing. As pre-staging begins and Mexico makes alliance with Russia and China, the deep state cartels controlled by the demos are in panic, and the end of trafficking. I mean, how much trafficking took place when they opened up the border? All these little kids. I mean, it's pathetic. Come to an end. And in the coming future, after the near death civilization events collapse happens, a golden age awaits. Remember, we have to go through a near death civilization event. And that, let's hope it happens soon and quickly and it's over and done. But I'm just telling people, last night I read something about, let me keep going. Um, Remember in 2021, that the generals told us about this. That's because they knew the White Hat military alliance was coming after them, and the deep state would initiate fifth generation warfare against its own people, including creating world proxy wars and the train derailments, 80 train derailments in just a few months, a lot of false flag shootings. Um, As we heard a massive banking collapse, we head into the center of Black Swan event. They're saying June, okay? Now don't shoot the messenger, man. I mean, that's what keep buckled up, patriots, keep your faith, plan to save the world. Okay, I'm coming to the last one. The JB keeps exposing himself. Um I also stated that the 2020 selection process was a military operation to expose the dudes, and the foreign interference um, would lead to a nuclear near world event that would expose the worldwide laundering thing. The alliance included placing JB as a senile, creepy old man, would be impeached and expose himself, including his offspring, who was forced to hand over his computer. He didn't do it voluntarily. The military made him do it. Um, okay, so the simple truth I've been saying from the beginning is these are bad dudes. We know that. He was the worst president in history. Okay, the video of Biden wearing a rubber mask, scratching his neck, has hit viral attitudes, aptitudes. I think they're saying aptitudes. I don't know. And JB reading from the cheat sheet and all that other stuff. Okay. Um, Now, JB had not talked with House. G won't return calls. So it's all coming apart. Um, as Trump friend Margie Green Taylor.
Guru? Where did Guru go? Let me call him. Hold on, guys. I'll find him. Pick up, Guru.
Hey, Gila.
We lost you, Guru.
Oh, I lost you. You want to try signing in again?
No, we lost you. I'm still on by myself.
You lost me. I'm still talking. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, literally.
It says connected, so maybe.
Yeah, you froze a minute, and now it's just the Gila show. Timothy Levin said. Guru,
so
I got.
Why don't you take it?
No.
Why don't you take over?
No, I don't know how to read intel. Guru, come back to us. What should we do? I'm here. Can you come back in?
Okay. Something just happened, so you were cut out. So maybe I'm back now. It says connecting. Wait. Let me try this.
Yeah, try something.
I can't seem to get out of this.
There's Guru, guys.
Let's see if we can. Maybe I was.
So someone said your audio is not syncing up. So have you rejoined? Are you able to rejoin?
I can't seem to turn myself off. I could start again, but I don't really want to. You know what, Gila, can you just tell people that we'll call it a day, and that.
Are we done?
I'll be back tonight. Yeah, I mean, I'm done with the intel.
That's so sad, Guru. I could just keep you here next to me.
You can. I mean, if you want to go ahead. I mean.
I don't like being on by myself, Priz. I don't like it. I'm shy that way.
They just cut me off, so.
Okay, so guys, Guru will be back at what time do you go on? 7:45 tonight.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for having me on, Guru.
It was a pleasure, and tell everyone thank you, and we'll catch you later.
Okay, we'll catch you later, guys. Mwah. Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.